The first half of the last season of Stranger Things just released, so let's recap it, but it's a speedrun. Episode 1 opens with small Will in the Upside Down, hiding from the Demogorgon in Castle Byers. The Demogorgon comes crashing in like the IRS when you owe them money. Will starts blasting, runs away, climbs a suspiciously convenient ladder like tree. The Demogorgon follows. Our boy takes a leap of faith, singing, I believe I can fly, but he can't, falls down the tree, gets kidnapped while being a kid that naps involuntarily, and now we're at the library. Vecna turns up while pinning Will to the wall, sus, sticks his tube into his mouth, and fills him up with his sticky glue from his sack. Screw Todd Father and Steve, Vecna has been the real daddy all along. Now we're back in the present in 1987 at the Wheeler house. Mike yells he's about to spread his bodily fluids all over the hallway right as Joyce comes out of the bathroom, but who doesn't answer when there's a desperate teenager punching down the bathroom door? Meanwhile, Holly yells down into the cellar where we see some homeless people, and next thing you know, they are all eating breakfast when Mr. Wheeler makes clear that he hasn't had sex in ages. Soon after that, everyone flees the house. The ice cream duo are radio hosts now, and 500 days have passed since the creation of the Big Crack. Radio Robin gives a sassy recap of what changed since then. The military's all over the place, the orange rib of death has been patched up with flex tape metal edition, and there's a door-like gate in the middle. Before Will was singing, Should I stay or should I go now? And the military has been so nice to make that decision for the people of Hawkins.
Stay.
Then Robin starts thirsting for a nurse on air and gets DDoSed by the government or something like that. To resume the broadcast, the babysitter calls his favorite child, whom he has built a dependence on, but the kid is having none of it. At that moment, the same child left unattended sets out to provoke the whole school with his shirt. This attracts a hormonal sports player who starts touching him. They nearly kiss, and when the sports guy starts to undress Dustin, Lucas has none of their gay shenanigans and stops them right before they could get into their masochistic roleplay. Dustin's friends blame him for the incident, saying he should have dressed more modest. Heartbreaking case of victim blaming. Naturally, he walks off pissed. Then we cut to a fugitive girl running through the forest with the military chasing her. Turns out they were chasing someone else, while 7-Eleven does some parkour on a junkyard, blows up some pumpkins, which is a waste of good food, and at the end her dad stops the timer way too late. It was her PR either way. Now the old man wants to chill and watch some Stranger Things in his crib, but 7-Eleven wants to run again. At that time, Murray smuggles shit into the town, and the military did absolutely not check his truck at all. Back at the radio station, Nancy flips open a thick manual to find the error. Next thing you know, Magnificent Hair Harrington and the stoner start having a passive-aggressive fight over her. She gets distracted by the smuggler though, who hands her a bunch of ammunition, grenades, and Gatorades, as well as intel for their next mission, which Radio Robin transmits in secret code to all her associates, who all gather and plan in their respective groups. Then Will likes guys, Will the Wise gets the goosies and the sky starts spinning. Time for him to stop with the drugs. Will was actually seeing Holly's point of view. Right after that, she talks to her imaginary friend again, but to the teacher it looks like she's talking to no one. Next up, we're inside the military base in the Upside Down, with all kinds of eerie things to be studied. Back to the junkyard trio, they are now underground arguing whether 7-Eleven has achieved her time goal of 12 minutes 30 seconds, which would allow her to go on the next mission with her father, but he straight up lies he didn't see the timer and she didn't make it, when she actually did. He just doesn't want her in on the fun because the whole military's after her. In the next scene, Mike is at his sister's school where the teacher talks to their mother because of the incident before, and Holly tells Mike there are monsters in Hawkins, and this motherfucker just goes like, nope, never heard of that, never seen anything like it.
Matter of fact, I'm blind in my left eye and 43% blind in my right eye. I don't see much of nothing. Matter of fact, I can't even see you, sir.
Then proceeds to gaslight her further, and after a pep talk, he gives her a little figurine who is basically supposed to be Holly but better. Meanwhile, Lucas and Will are at the hospital where Max is in a coma. Will wanders off when his gaydar picks up Radio Robin, who proceeds to make out with a nurse on her shift. Will sees this and quickly flees the scene, but interrupts the gaining in the process. In the meantime, Dustin visits the rocker boy's grave and gets jumped by the hormonal sports jerks from school who want to kill him but don't go through with it. All bark, no bite. Everyone meets up at the radio station except for Henderson, who has been put to sleep temporarily at the graveyard. The mission starts anyway with the following teams: Stoner and Farrah Fawcett Guy as the radio signal trackers, Hopper on the offensive in the Upside Down, Lucas and Mike on the lookout, and the rest in communication. Hopper infiltrates the Big Mac, military active control zone, and hops on a convoy truck which drives to the military base in the Upside Down as the tracker team follows him in the normal world, aka the right side up. The convoy gets ambushed by a Demogorgon, but luckily the military is armed with rifles instead of flamethrowers. I mean, what foolish idea is it to take a weapon with you that actually has an effect on the monsters? Luckily, Hopper stays undetected, and when the coast is clear, he runs off. In the radio station, Will streams the Demogorgon's body cam via Mind VPN as it detects the convoy and runs off towards the Wheeler house. The connection short circuits the whole radio station, and after Joy slaps her son awake, the connection is cut and he tells the others what he just saw. Nancy and the Ego Girl spring into action and hurry home as the giant naked cat with teeth for a face breaks through the ceiling into Holly's room. And that's it for the first episode of the final season. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next episode. Bye.